What's good? What's good, fam? Queen Common Sense back to drop another video. I have to apologize because today I crashed out like I was asleep for a large portion of the day. And I woke up a couple hours ago and I feel like a red-headed stepchild, yo. I'm like trying to find my life. I slept deeply, okay? So I'm just kind of clearing the fog of a deep, deep sleep. Like still 2 hours later. I'm nocturnal anyway. I'm like one of them Virgos that like to be outside at night chilling, you know, when it's still and not many weirdos are roaming around. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it was a little bit easier back home because I could go on top of somebody's roof. You know, I could hit the rooftop and just chill, vamp out, vibe out until I get sleepy. Even at my own house, I would hop on the roof sometimes and just chill. A couple yoga mats, you know, and just vibe out. Me and the stars and God, yo. I love trees. So if I'm in an area with a lot of trees, I'll just be like sitting under a tree. As long as I got some music or some type of media, I'm good. So I'm a real introvert when I want to be. I'm a hermit, and I think that's why I get so many weird encounters with people. You know what I mean? Um, like I shared this bus driver shit, right? I was sitting at the bus stop, literally across the street from my house. There's a bus depot, and in all major cities, there's a hub. City buses and commuter buses land there, and they also, park there. That's their depot where everybody, that's home base. So, um, a continuum of what happened with old girl, city bus driver Karen hops off her bus and felt the need that she had to step to me and investigate why the fuck I was sitting at the bus stop. To me, that's still just, it does not compute to me why you would want to step to a complete stranger and ask them the weirdest shit. Like, what else would I be doing at a bus stop? Really? So, early this morning, I had to hit the bodega. So, me and Sir Apollo, we get our steps in. He decides, he wants to have a bougie moment and go across the street to his spot, the bus stop. You know, it was quiet over there. I didn't see, any buses parked. It was empty. So we bounce. We slide over there, and he does his normal investigation pattern. And this brother steps out the building, and he approaches me. He was like, I don't know. I hope I have the right person. I'm not sure. It's a situation. And I'm like, what situation? What are you talking about? Who are you? Um, he was like, you had the incident out here with the bus driver approaching you? I was like, yeah, that's me. What's up? He was waving his hand like, I took care of that. Like, don't even worry about it. Um, and he proceeds to go, well, she didn't mean no harm. Gaslighting 101. So I said, beg your pardon. I said, no disrespect. I don't care what her intentions were. She's a complete stranger. That was rude. Both of them were rude. It's a public place. Okay? Intentions don't matter when you impose your energy onto another person that did not invite you into their energy space. a good morning would have sufficed. That's it. So her intentions, she didn't mean it. The fact that you have to cap like that for this chick after I've already, this is why I say people, you black women, we always get taken as a joke. We're supposed to brush shit under the rug, for the comfort of, the people that impose their demons upon us. You dig? And I'm frankly, I'm sick of it. I've been sick of it. I was sick of it in my 20s, yo, where we report where we have been violated. Even the slightest violation to me is disgusting. Okay? Because I have a right to reasonable, quiet enjoyment in a public place. Okay? That means I have the right to have a reasonable amount of peace and feel comfortable in public around other people. So that there is not an imposition on anyone's personal right to their fucking space in public. 3 feet to 6 feet. If I tell you back the fuck up, and we're at a fair or amusement park or in a public park, that means back the fuck up also. I don't give a fuck if you don't like how I said it. I don't care if you think that, oh, I'm just kidding. I don't mean no harm. I'm just trying to be friendly. I don't give a fuck what excuse you have. If I tell you back off, that's what you're going to do. You're going to fall the fuck back if I have to make you do it. Because it's after you push back on me and tell me that I should not have the alarm go off that I did, my intuition told me to back you the fuck up off me. Okay? That's what I mean. Just because it's a black woman don't mean that you don't have to comply with honoring my and respecting my comfort zone. This is another thing that what we mean by demand, command, fuck demand, command respect. You understand? Don't gaslight me. If she didn't mean no harm, she would have kept her fucking mouth shut. You feel me? I'm just keeping it a band. Okay? If you didn't mean no harm by stepping off that bus and trying to interrogate me and force me to have a conversation with you after I already made it very clear, I'm here minding my own business. That is enough of a context clue, Karen, to shut up and leave me alone, right? But you keep inciting me to talk to you in a very crass manner after I've already been polite. I've already done my due diligence and what's required of me as a civilized woman to be polite, okay? I can be polite and contrite. You just hanging out, minding my own business. Why do you ask? It's polite, right? So I guess he was the supervisor dude that came out to holler at me. And I just, that's what I told him. I'm like, you know what? She needs to be more professional. Everybody don't like people like that. Your energy and acceptance or welcomeness to how you interact with strangers does not match mine. Karen, especially a fucking Karen, So it is what it is. Whether she meant harm or not, it doesn't matter. It made me uncomfortable. And it wasn't an uncomfortable type of suspicious uncomfortable. It was like, that's weird. There were other people just out here. Why didn't you stop and ask them the same shit then if you didn't mean no harm? Why did you pinpoint me? The black woman with the blue nose pit. So you telling me she was so interested in my dog, she wanted to have a conversation with me and ask me why I was here with my dog? You know, that's the type of that's right there is how people try to slide in under the radar with their hat on and gaslight you and keep trying to pry themselves into a crevice that they don't belong in. If my purpose for being here was meant for you to know, you would have already knew. You won't be asking me, right? What I eat don't make you shit. Eyes on your own paper. Now, this segues into what I want to talk about, which is that accountability piece that really strikes and tap dances on my only good, healthy nerve left of patience with these stooges, the snot stooges, the two stooges, the two snot stooges, the Scott brothers. You know, they just keep stumbling and tripping over each other and themselves, and all of their lies have piled up so high, I don't even think they can see the sunrise and set every day, yo. So I was the one to talk about accountability because we was talking about life coaching and therapy and what's real and what's fake. And sometimes therapists and life coaches have a filter of their own personal experiences that they too project off onto you, right? And a lot of bullshit that I see these two niggas doing to each other, to their wives, and to themselves, right? To make themselves look like the epitome of asshats that they appear to be. I wanted to point something out to Tisha because Tisha gets what she deserves from people. She gets what she asks for. She wants a lot of attention. She's very needy. She needs a lot of outside validation from anywhere she can get it from, which is why she wound up married to this oaf, this doofus, and doesn't even realize that she is a puppet on a string for his emotionally bankrupt, weird tactics of manipulating her like a marionette. So while we on life coaching, accountability, how you show up to other people, I want to holler at Tisha again for a hot second. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm just a itty bitty little channel, and my opinion don't count because I'm not a heavy hitter content creator. I'm just out here to make y'all think and apply entertainment type of toxicity translates and trickle down into real life. These is real people. Okay, just because their camera is on them does not mean these people are not fucked up as they appear to be. And it's time to stop being titillated and start plugging in and being conscious and aware, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Black people need to wake the fuck up the rest of the way and stop trying to be partially conscious, partially a boss, partially this, half-ass that when it comes to our mental stamina and sharpness of wit and intuition. It's very imperative we trust ourselves. And to trust yourself, you have to love yourself. Okay? You love yourself, you're going to trust yourself, and you're going to protect yourself a whole lot better than letting people string you along. And just because it's a good kiki, then you call it entertainment. Or just because it's a good drama filled, toxic ridden situation, that's your entertainment. That's a morbid way to be entertained, is by delving into drama and trying to help stir the pot so that some of it splashes out on you so you can say, look, I had a hand in that. I'm part of that too. Yeah, they came for me too. Yeah, this is that. Yeah, I did that and I did this and I had to jump in and do that. You don't dogs don't chase parked cars. Okay? Sometimes nothing is better than something when it comes to bullshit like this that we see these people doing on the cast of a show that is being viewed by quite a few people, not as many as it used to be. You know, speaking of accountability, right? being that, the millimeters and the viewers and the people who support Mel and the Eminem kids in this van, we don't have no power. We ain't shit. We're stupid. We're old, bitter, uh, broke, dusty, homeless black women who are miserable and don't have a life. We just sit up on YouTube all day, and that's the only lane that we ride in, watching a bunch of toxic people do the toxic shit that the devil designed them to do, the devil assigned them to do. So accountability goes both ways, last I checked, in a relationship, whether it's a marriage, friendship, it doesn't matter, right? Accountability is a big deal to me because A, we have adopted as Black people the lack of accountability practices from our oppressors. Well, I see the white girl do it. So let me see if I can get away with it. I've heard a lot of sisters say shit like that when it comes to emotional manipulation, dodging accountability, mismanaging whatever resources they have that their husband is providing to them, and never taking accountability for it to correct it. It's always the escape route of arguing until everybody's exhausted. So it'll be just like, never mind. I'm just not gonna argue about it no more. I said my piece. We beat this ass until it ran away, and now I'm too tired to argue about it no more. I'm not budging. They're not budging on the other end of it. So fuck it. And then it gets swept under the rug, and nobody takes accountability for it. That's a very poor, toxic behavior pattern. And unfortunately, we learned it by proxy from post traumatic slave syndrome, repeating and emulating our abusers, okay, to keep us oppressed mentally, mainly mentally. Like Denzel's character said on The Great Debaters, you remove the mind, the critical thought, you delete that, but keep the body, the physical strength. You don't have to think to be a slave. You don't need a mind that's functioning to be a slave, to be in servitude eternally with no compensation and abused daily. This is what Black Mamba does to his wife ongoing. It's redundant and it's really sick because anybody that takes pleasure in breadcrumbing someone and emotionally torturing them to watch them suffer and laugh about it, it is a sick, devious, morbid individual. And I don't trust niggas like Marceau. They make my skin crawl. Now, we're gonna hop right into it because he humiliated his wife in this particular scene. And they were talking about accountability. So let's peep this little clip and we're gonna talk about it. Okay, here we go.
The whole thing is we're not family, we wouldn't be friends, like all that stuff. I just don't want us working on a project together to.
Now, Tisha, we all know she's talking about how Kimmy dropped a bomb on her and said a couple seasons ago now, if we weren't in laws, we wouldn't be friends. Understandably so. That was the realest I think Kimmy has ever been since she's been on this show. Keeping it all the way a beam. No, we wouldn't rock out. We couldn't we would not kick it at all. We wouldn't be friends. You feel me? So you see how Tisha hold on to stuff. You see how she inhibits her own development as a person by holding grudges with people who who don't lose a wink of sleep over her. You see the low self-worth in Tisha, where she's still talking about this shit that Kimmy said years ago. Let's peep now. Come on.
She said, we got it set up to the point where that if Kimmy wants this done, it'll be done, on time, on budget. One
That's what you said about Zen Gardens. That's what you said about the doctor's practice, the venue that you're supposed to be remodeling and adding on to with the doctor of the spa services facility, the healing facility. You said the same shit about every project you did that you fucked up that you have now millions of dollars that you owe for work that you did not complete. Okay? Where's your accountability at, Black Mamba?
people to be in a good space. That's why we invited Mel to speak at the Black Business Expo #2. I think it's fair to say that I'm trying to keep a positive outlook and a positive relationship with everyone in our friend group, including Mel.
For the second Black Business Expo in Atlanta, we had our team to reach out to Mel team to secure a contract with her to speak because at the end of the day, Melody is a great motivational speaker.
Now, Melody is a great motivational speaker, but the year prior to the second Expo, she had a black heart, evil, this and that. Okay? Come on.
But unfortunately, she was not able to make it.
I don't think that that had anything to do with my comment about Martell.
No.
I think she had a
She said she had a prior engagement, yeah.
prior engagement.
She did say, though, that she wants to have a conversation with you.
About the Black Business Expo?
No, about a comment that you made pertaining to Martell when he was arrested. She said that she felt like you was doing it for attention.
Well, their fighting impacts us.
Right.
How everyone comes in and asks us questions.
Their fighting don't impact you if you don't let it, because it's none of your fucking business. Number one. Number two, you had your fucking nose in there fighting, breaking up their arguments, going over to pick up and separate Mel and Martell because Miss Van called you to check in on them. They were at it because Martell got caught again with that trollop slovenly bovine over there having an affair. You have been intertwined in their marriage and their income, pocket watching, clocking everything they do, trying to emulate it because you're jealous of Martell, even though he also is an asshat stooge. He's the fourth stooge of the four stooges of you niggas on this show. So you need to if you going recount history, Marceau, you need to rewind that back all the way to double zeros, okay? All the way to the beginning. And remember how the first and second season you was begging Melody to come back to the comeback group then, and Tisha would not move around. She was fanning out and becoming obsessed at that point with Melody and the fact that Melody was not going to participate. So, whenever you do not participate and agree with and co sign with the narcissist, Tisha is a covert narcissist, a passive covert narcissist. The narcissist then begins to do the crazy making, mudslinging, character attacking, lying, triangulation behavior pattern that they are still stuck in. 8, 7 seasons later, whatever number this is, Carlos keep trying to change it up and down. I believe it's really, in reality, it's like season 7, I believe. So where is the accountability for that Black Mamba, fork tongue, gaslighter, amateur, hustling backwards, man girdle wearing, non-business owning ass nigga? Like, where's your accountability for all this money that you spent on this bootleg ass Airbnb slash temporary home that you remodeled? You have to you gotta scam people to get the dough to build a house that you should have already been living in, the quality of home that you should have been living in at this stage in life as a so-called business owner. Okay. Your spot got blown up season 1 or 2 when you all refused to sign on the business loan for the 52 acres. What about that accountability? Nobody has mentioned that since Melody took a huge shit on your business and said you don't even got the clout. Why don't want to sign a loan? That was the agreement. All 6 of us are supposed to be on this loan for this 52 acres. That's the only way that it's going to work out. The numbers don't add up because we need financials from these so-called businesses that you are putting up as collateral for this loan. This is major construction we're about to do here. See, that's why another sub point I want to drive home is underestimating the intellect of a Black woman. Whether we're involved in the situation or not, the mellometers peep game. Period. Enough said. That's why it's best to sit back and observe things, process it, re-examine it, bounce it off of someone else, and see what you get. And if you have a common thread of relevant behavior that develops a pattern, and you're showing up this way every time we are talking business, where it's all a bunch of talk and there ain't no weight to back up all of that hot air. You don't pay how you weigh. Your bread is not as long as what you claim it to be. Okay? Where's accountability for that? Your spot got blew up a long time ago when it came to the coins and you not having it and you stealing from other people. That's just my opinion. We gonna get back on the accountability though.
Questions about them all the time. And so, no, I don't want to be in part of that. And that's why I was very middle of the road with my response. The local news reached out to me and
If you don't want to be a part of that, then you just don't answer the phone and don't reply. You don't have to reach back. Ain't that what you told your wife? When you get down as low as they are, then you don't win. It don't makes you no better than them. Isn't that what he just said? You see how slow she is? You see how she will not hold him accountable, just like he expects her to be accountable for her disgusting, drunken, sloppy behavior at Nell's party? Loud and wrong. Let's go.
they wanted to get a statement because there was some confusion about which bald-headed black guy named MAR, was involved in.
That's what public records are for. That's what investigative reporters do. It's not up to you to help them do their fucking job. If you don't want to be a part of it, then don't be a part of it. Silence is more powerful than a neutral, contrived, confabulated answer to a everybody know that the answer to a reporter is no comment because your words can be twisted. Anybody can add on anything if you make a little generic statement. That could be taken and interpreted in any kind of way. So how about I don't say shit? How about that? How about don't say nothing like you telling your wife to do? Huh? Where's the accountability there, Bucko? Let's go.
In this whole situation.
I don't understand why we always get blamed for things that goes down with Mel and Martell. Like, it's always us.
It's always me.
Definitely you.
No, it's me.
It's always them. It is because they are shit stirrers, as my uncles used to say. Don't stir up no shit. Mind your own business. You know, you can listen, don't say nothing. Don't respond. If it don't involve you, don't have an opinion. If they ask you your opinion, you do that in private and it stays in private. But nobody asked you. Okay? Melody said, leave her be. She has not gotten involved with or commented on or inserted herself in any of the most recent few years of y'all stacking up lawsuits, digging yourself a hole through the earth to China. You owe so many people, you so far down deep in debt and upside down. Okay? Where's accountability at, yo? Now you the victims of what? You the victims of what? Exposing yourself? You the how are you oh, it's always us. We always getting blamed because your practices, the way you move is real foul.
They constantly want to put the Scots down. They constantly want to say that me and you are.
I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I don't care. Every time something seems wrong, every time something comes against us, God got us. For everything. Everybody that says something about us ends up in a bad situation. Mel and Martell, divorced. Louis and Tiffany went through a whole bunch of crap.
That's not a bad situation that Mel and Martell are divorced. They're supposed to be divorced. She gave him the consequences to his disgusting, demonic, obsessed behavior of cheating on her repeatedly, expecting her not to address it and act accordingly, like your wife does. You see, Mel is not Tisha, and that's why you mad. Cognitive dissonance. You hate that you love Melody. You can't stand it. You obsessed with her. That's just what I think. I'm just stating my opinion. I didn't get to be 52 years old being stupid and slow and not paying attention to human behavior and how people move when they do certain things. And most of it is what they don't say that tells a lot more about them than what they do say. Because I believe none of what the fuck I hear. And in these days, I believe half of what the fuck I see. Okay? Because look at the magic spell, smoke and mirrors you trying to sell people watching the show. Because you never had this much attention before in your life. Okay?
Kiki and I mean going through a whole bunch of crap.
Now add Storm into that list.
Kiki and Amin ain't got nothing to do with you either. Amin was getting ready to crush your skull, yo. Disrespecting his wife like that in his face. Where's the accountability for that? You don't never take accountability for your recklessness, Black Mamba. You always got your nose and mouth moving, poking around in other people's affairs when they're going through strife. You are the lover of destruction and chaos. You're possessed with Leviathan, Legion, You pay homage to demonic energy, yo. You are the biggest cheater, in my opinion, in this whole group. Because you've done it the longest, in my opinion, and you have gotten away with it scot free. Tisha just turns her head to it. Why? Because she has a mother, the type of mother that she has. No standards. First floor behavior. First floor expectations. Low self esteem. Okay. Tisha admits it here. She admitted, no, it's not the liquid courage. This is me. This is who they really are, people. Beautiful family. Pay attention. Open your eyes. Use your third eye. Trust your intuition. We've been on their necks ever since this beginning of inception of this show. Hmm? No more gray area. You know, that's why I love Mel because she resonates her energy, her intuitiveness, her supernova empathic abilities. That's nothing but God. Huh? Let's keep continue to peep this clip. Then we're gonna bounce.
Because she's the
Hey,
person who's been talking about it lately.
all I'm saying is,
Because at Nell's party, they want to say something about liquid courage. And I'm like, no, this is Tisha. It's me.
See? A man or woman speaks their truth in jest, anger, and inebriation. Excuse me. The Blackfoot elders taught me a very powerful mantra when developing your spiritual strength and healing yourself from past traumas. Listen to your inner voices. So later in life, the village does not have to endure your screaming. Okay. I just want to let y'all know hell is where you build it and how you build it. There's no destination where you go to hell and burn. It doesn't matter what realm you're in, whether you're among the living or not. You can build your own hell. And I did a video about that years ago. Don't let people lie to you. Okay? I might re stream that with the climate that we are in now on the show. Let's go.
listen, babe, getting down in the gutter makes you just as low as them. And you're not going to achieve your goals.
But people keep trying to play me and they play around with me.
So what?
Because I was the nice Tisha,
So
the
what?
kind Tisha.
T,
I didn't want to be in. Yeah, no.
Tisha, listen.
Nobody was playing around with Tisha. Tisha is a lot like my sister in this vein. As I've mentioned before, I have a sister who is a dingbat like this. And she inserts herself and has very poor timing and cannot read the room. And she will inject all kind of disease into the situation or the conversation and expect everybody to understand where she's coming from. That's how entitled she is, and how disconnected from herself she is, to where she feels that life should stop because she has an issue or she might be uncomfortable or triggered. The whole flow is supposed to just immediately stop because my sister calls issue to something. And once she gets the attention that she didn't expect, immediately falls into victim mode, deflection. Let's go.
Listen.
No, don't.
No. I'm saying this.
What?
I think that, well, I could offer a little bit of feedback. I think we got to work on accountability.
I don't want to talk about me being accountable right now. Like, I'm tired of all the time we talk about stuff and I agree, but then you like, well, let me call you back out on this. Like, I feel like you're always calling me out on stuff all the time.
All right, I'm gonna, then no feedback.
Okay, yeah, I don't want it right now.
All right, my bad.
Okay.
You see this? Y'all heard it. It's never a good time. When they sat down to have the town hall meeting, Kimmy insisted on having a feedback session. Okay? She didn't want the feedback. Prior to this, a content creator went all the way to Alabama to talk to her personally about reckless Wasteland Wanda and her vitriol that she created against Melody and Melody's children. Out of thin air, beefing with a young woman who is a complete stranger, inserting herself into her adult daughter's friendship circle or coworker circle of other grown women who are also strangers. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, all this ties together with that whole facade of life coaching someone or get providing therapeutic advice for someone and education for someone when you yourself don't got enough seasoning on. Let's go.
I can talk about accountability.
As a husband, you're gonna have to take accountability for every one of your words that you think, that you almost said.
See, this is when Tisha, if she was worth her salt as a black woman with children, a black woman and a mother who is depending on this fork-tongued stooge to provide and protect for her, she would have said, since we on the subject of accountability, nigga, what's up with all of these damn lawsuits? Hmm? Everything we got is upside down. Okay? So when are you gonna take our finances into accountability and fix this shit? That's all they're doing. They're day drinker luscious now, have developed into borderline, if not already, alcoholics possibly. Just in my opinion, just my theory, to medicate the gravity of what the fuck they have done to the level of to the level of stupidity that they have risen or sank, I should say. It's an all-time low of ignorance, blissfully ignorant. You have to drink because you're facing so much karma and all of your evil deeds are coming full circle like a boomerang, smacking you right across the bridge of your nose. Where's the accountability? And you wonder where all this negative energy is coming from all of a sudden. Why do people always blame you for everything, all the trouble? You stirred the pot. You stepped into a kitchen that wasn't even designed for you to be in. Okay? You decided you wanted to go public with your fuckery. And karma don't always come back the way that you put it out. Your energy does not always come back in the same way you put it out. That's why they call it karma. But it will come back. And karma comes back usually 3, 7, or tenfold. So if I was whack and weak like this, I probably would be a lush by now too. Laying up thinking about how am I going to fix or finagle my way up out of this mess that I made for myself. All while sabotaging someone else's family, livelihood, and reputation because of what? Jealousy. You jealous of the same member of the Three Stooges society. You jealous of Martell because Melody put you on. You his people. You're not her people. Melody was the plug, not Martell. Let's go.
That you were about to say but didn't. So, yeah, I'm going to get in trouble for this one.
You feel like I don't take accountability?
Yes.
I feel like I take accountability a lot.
T, your default is defensive. I think I've earned a right to say, hey, maybe we should do this differently.
You have. You can speak that into my life, but that doesn't mean call me out every time in front of people. That's embarrassing for me.
I don't.
Okay. That's how I feel.
Yeah, you do. You call her out on a reunion stage, backstage, on camera, anytime she does anything that is not in alignment with what you want her to do, which is behave and emulate Melody, a classy, sophisticated, emotional, emotionally mature, evolved woman is who you really want to be with. You wish you was Martell so you could be with Mel to live the lifestyle and have the luxurious ability to be afforded what Mel's lifestyle is like, what it was like before she met you, before she even knew you existed. Y'all wouldn't even floated in the same circles at the same time in the same place had it not been for Martell being married to Melody. You see how upside down this shit is? How we've been conditioned to try to vilify the person that has a righteous moral compass and will not be moved off of what God is leading her or him to do. You see, they get the worst of it because it's the initial backlash and pushback. Oh, who the fuck you think you are? Jealousy started all of this shit. And they sitting up here clueless. That's why I tell people when you build the hell for yourself, I don't want to hear your screaming because people try to assist and counsel and instruct you with the blueprint. And you chided and joked and poked fun at Melody's blueprint, who brought all of y'all up out the gutter, including her former husband. Let's go.
Okay.
You don't have to call me out about every single mistake I make.
I don't.
I feel like you do, though.
You think these are the only mistakes you make? No. 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 We both make mistakes, Tisha. We make mistakes in life. Every now and then, you get called out on them.
Okay.
Every now and then in a conversation with you, I say, that may not be right. This is a chance for us to learn.
So what I'm gathering from this conversation is that it doesn't matter how I feel, you're going to do what you want to do regardless.
No.
Is what you're saying. Or you're just not going to talk to me about it anymore.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not going to communicate my feelings about this subject anymore.
Okay.
And we're going to sweep this under the rug and maybe we'll deal with it with a therapist.
What did I say? Tisha give pushback, defensiveness. That's the realest this fork tongue nigga has ever been too. This true. Defensive. Every time somebody call her out on anything, we have a pattern. The receipts are there. We already know. We saw it. We know what's up. That's why we not watching the show now. Okay. So now the narcissist is wild now. The malignant narcissist who is her husband. Now he tired. I'm tired. I don't want to talk about it no more. I'm not gonna bring it up no more. Let her cook, right? Let her rock out. You want to act like a curb hood booger and embarrass yourself even further. And when I try to stop you from doing that on a couple different reunions, called you out, called you out in private. You didn't want to hear it. You did the same thing with Kimmy. You did the same thing with Stormy. You did the same thing with uh Tiffany. Same thing with Kiki. Same thing with your mama. Defensive. Because your mama is defensive. Very unapproachable. Very unagreeable. What other elder women would say, incorrigible, obstinate, cantankerous. You know what the Bible says about a quarrelsome woman? I'm talking to Destiny too, and Sunny. Okay, pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
At any rate,
Okay.
see you later, T.
That's that, people. Okay. Now we're gonna tie this up in a nice little bow. You know how I do, people. You know how I do, beautiful family. Here's another one from a European life coach and therapist that I accidentally ran into this one. You know, 'cause we talk about the motherless daughters, daughters of passive, emotionally unavailable mothers. You know, Miss Marlene fits into that. So does the Snot brothers' mother, very passive. But this is Lisa Romano, life coach. Okay. And we're just gonna do a little piece of her video because she's a life coach. She's a life coach. Let me say again, she's a life coach. And she is of the European diaspora, but the information is still matching up with the other two melanated goddesses who are therapists and life coaches. Remember spiritual whistleblower and Queen Mother Iyanla Von Zant. So let's take a look at Lisa A. Romano, Life Coach Inc., who got some seasoning on her. Okay, let's peep this. We got a little commercial here, but I picked up on Lisa A. Romano's channel, I want to say 2013, when she first kind of started out, you know, I believe. I might be wrong. But you take the meat door with the bones. You understand? And I prefer to lock in with people that look like me when it comes to my spiritual health and growth. I don't want to have the arrested development that a lot of people such as Tisha have. So you have to have a wide scope of openness to be able to receive from different aspects. You look for that common thread. So let's peep this.
We're going to be talking about the daughters of passive, emotionally unavailable mothers. If you love this content, please don't forget to click the subscribe button and the notification bell. This way, every time I upload a new video, you dear one will be the first to know. So today we're talking about the consequences of being raised by a mom who's passive and who is essentially emotionally unavailable. If you grew up with a passive, emotionally unavailable mom, chances are you might be secretly angry. Chances are you might feel like you suffer with self-esteem issues.
Now, angry. Destiny and Tisha and Kimmy, even Nell. They some angry motherfuckers. Very passive aggressive, very defensive, high strung, and disorderly. It's covertly done a lot of the time. Very snarky. Hmm? Let's go.
You suffer with self-worth issues. You suffer perhaps with perfectionism. You may suffer with imposter syndrome. You may be someone who is codependent, who has taken on people pleaser tendencies, trying to feel good enough, trying to figure out how to avoid abandonment and rejection. When you have a passive, unavailable mom, chances are there's trauma in her background that is unresolved. Passive mothers are those who cater to the moods of their husbands, for instance. These are moms who think that things are just going to work out. They're moms who tend to have rose-colored glasses on and who ignore the stuff that we should be talking about as a family. They are often women who were raised by alcoholic fathers and or mothers. They grew up feeling like their feelings.
You heard that right. Alcoholic fathers and or mothers. Hello. Come on.
Didn't matter. They grew up feeling like the best thing for them to do was to just be quiet. They grew up feeling like if they opened their mouth and they spoke about something that was significant, there was a chance that there would be some trauma or drama when that happened. So mothers who grew up and become passive and emotionally unavailable are really stuck in time. They are wounded inner children that have never done any emotional recovery work, and they've learned that it makes sense to be helpless. Like they don't have the.
I don't think any of them, in Bessemer address any of the traumas that they have endured since childhood. You know, that rumor that allegedly there was some children groomed to steal and folk got arrested because they got caught with the merchandise because the child had the merchandise to cover up the appearance that there might be theft, try to mask. Oh, that kid was an accident. You know what I'm saying? I forgot he had that. You know what I mean? Never addressed those traumas. Never got closure for a lot of the things that were forced upon them as children and they didn't have a voice. And a lot of times mothers who do that, they become fixated on either being saved and sanctified. They turn to some type of vice, chain smoking, drinking in the day, having, bottles and bottles of wine, you know, they get fixated on a distraction to where they use that false busy, fake busy, always busy, too busy to address anything of significance. But you can come and push the live record button and poke fun at, mock, harass, and attack other people's character. Okay. You can do that, but you can't address your daughter and get the healing services that you need so that you won't continue to embarrass her and your grandchildren in public every time you open your mouth. I'm so glad I had the grandmother I had who taught me how to attend to the 24 hours in a day that's provided to me. Work on you. Be you, follow God. That's what she used to always tell me. Let's go.
Life skills to be able to set a boundary. They don't have the life skills to speak their truth. So if you grew up with a passive, emotionally unavailable mom, then you grew up as an adult daughter watching your mom cater to the moods of your dad. You watched your mom cater to a man that was difficult to please, lots of the cases. It isn't always this way, but across the board, this is generally what happens if you grew up in this dynamic. If you grew up with a mom who believed that her mood really did depend on the mood of other people. In other words, it was her job to regulate her husband. You watched your mom fall all over herself trying to please someone who was impossible to please, and you grew up feeling very invisible because of that. So mom wasn't emotionally available for you. And if you had anything negative to say about your dad, she quickly shut you down. This is what emotionally unavailable mothers teach us. They teach us that it makes no sense to complain. So how that manifests in our life, in our relationships, is we struggle with boundaries. We struggle with, should I talk about this? Should I address this with my husband? Should I actually bring this up with my kids? Should I talk about this with my boss? Should I talk about this with my coworker? We sort of get this sense, and we're not even aware that we feel this way, that maybe we just shouldn't say anything about it. We've learned.
It's called codependency, and that is not healthy. It's toxic. That's really the real, authentic, true explanation for the energy that Mel has been receiving for the past 4, 5 years from these women on this show. Each and every one of them have come at her, really come for her about drawing boundaries for herself and her children so that she can continue to function in a healthy energy space, in a healthy heart space, feeling in alignment with herself and being grounded into who she really is, which is the person, the woman that we see and have seen throughout each season. She's gotten consistently stronger, more accountable, and less bothered because this is the real Mel. Just like the Tisha that we see is the real Tisha now. We saw all of that mask fall off. Okay, it took 4 years for the Scots to finally let their mask fall all the way off. You see how long a narcissist will put up and put on a show when they think that there's no consequences? And then when the consequences do arrive, they fight that much harder to keep up a mask that has shattered all over the floor. Do y'all, I want my family to see how sick and twisted and wicked these people are, y'all. This is spiritual surgery we're doing. And we have to always understand and be aware of how we show up with these demons. It's important, it's imperative that you do the work because you cannot cut corners when you got 5 demons coming at you relentlessly just because You said no to abuse. Huh? Pay close attention, people. I love you. This is why I do this.
By watching our passive, emotionally unavailable moms, that it really doesn't make much sense to like bring something up because nothing ever gets resolved. And this becomes embedded in us, and now we don't have the life skills to resolve issues. And it's even deeper than that, because if our mothers aren't attuned to what they're feeling, and our mothers aren't teaching us how to speak up, and if our mothers remain externally focused, catering to our fathers, then they are teaching us to do the same. And so we have no one modeling for us how to tune into the divine self, how to have an authentic conversation with the self. If our mothers aren't attuned to their authentic self, there is no way they can help us attune to our authentic self. So we end up feeling like it makes no sense to address problems, and we don't have any life skills to address them, even if we were able to identify them. Many emotionally unavailable moms who are very passive and don't want to kick up the dust and don't want to hurt anybody else's feelings, one of the things that we heard growing up is you just need to be more patient. Our mothers were martyrs, our mothers were stoic, our mothers stuffed their emotions, and they didn't know what to do with us when we had emotions, when we cried, when we were frustrated, when we thought that dad was being unacceptably cruel, or dad was saying something to mom that we thought he should have never said, and we speak up on behalf of our moms. Our moms quickly shut us down because they don't want to upset
The father. Okay? The sins of the father fall where? This is why autonomy is important within relationships. This is why it's okay to ride solo sometimes. You can have a tight clique, you know. I've gone through all those stages in life. I've had, my crew, my day ones, which is probably one now. You outgrow certain people from childhood sometimes. Sometimes you do not. I got my college day ones. I got my internet day ones where we wound up developing a bond so strong, stronger than the bonds I have within my own relatives and my family. But autonomy, your own identity without the validation of other people is very imperative. It's critical. Okay. That when I move, you move shit, that ride or die queen, that jailhouse empress, that I do anything for my man, that is not healthy. That is toxic. Okay. Love and obsession are two different things. Kimmy was obsessed with Reckless Reese. That's what narcissists do. They show up as whoever you want them to be. That's why you, especially a chosen one, don't get up here and be telling people this is what I'm looking for in a mate, because you telling the narcissist exactly what to do to come prey on you. And then you wonder why you keep recycling the same type of people over and over again. No relationship sticks because you keep giving the narcissist the blueprint to come and play you in your face. Okay? Let's let this commercial rock. And we're going to be out of here in a couple of more seconds now. Let's go.
So this passivity in mom teaches us that it makes no sense to like speak up. It frustrates us. We end up stuffing our emotions of frustration because it can't go anywhere. Mom's not listening. Mom then teaches us that it's our fault. We should just be more patient, that we're too much. We expect too much. And that if we're just a little bit more patient with the people in our lives, then things will just magically work out. But they never magically work out. Our problems go underground. They become emotionally embedded in our emotional bodies. It messes with the way that we feel and the way that we think. And we have all of these emotions that our passive mothers really haven't learned to allow, and actually prevented us from actually feeling and expressing as their daughters.
There you go. Motherless daughter. Emotionally unavailable, whether it's passive or passive aggressive, aggressive, stoic. This is a life coach. And to the point of motherless daughters show up one or two ways: avert reaction to connection with other women, or the other way, dependent and needy. So I'm still trying to fucking figure out what this alleged life coach of destinies was trying to educate people on that was incorrect, that her so-called colleague expressed on the TikTok live with Mel. That's all I'm trying to figure out. Where was she lending anything new? In my opinion, she was talking like she reinvented the damn wheel. What's understood don't need to be explained. And then, as a critically thinking, intelligent, educated, seasoned woman, I was a little bit insulted because it felt like she was trying to dumb us down. Like, oh, like we don't have enough sense to do the research on what was stated in that conversation, which was just an impromptu, led by the spirit conversation that came up, that Melody decided she wanted to share with the rest of her supporters, lending an ear to those who might resonate with it. So I'm still trying to figure out where this life coach was even invited in to insert herself in to correct anybody, when she just talked her way back around into a circle and proved that she don't know what the fuck she talking about. Which then I have to co-sign what Queen Sheba said. Fire her. Okay? So I'm gonna leave it there. Beautiful people, I love you. I'm gonna bounce, dig up a little bit more content. I've been I've been simmering over here. Okay? Another small victory in the curiosity, the audacity of the caucasity. Karen over on the other block got G checked. Okay? Back up. Karen at the bus stop got G checked. Move around. Okay? Stand on your business. You don't let nobody disrespect, abuse, misuse, or mistreat you in any fashion, on any level, whatever title, however many alphabet soup letters they got in front or behind their name. Anybody can get it if you cross that boundary and disrespect me and my peace and the work that I have done to hold my peace and ground myself and find my center, my chi. Okay? Say less. One love, black power. I am my sister's keeper. Heal the nation. And I'm going to be out, fam.